Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sutta Uvacha. Yo Vedonyashta Viplushto Namaturudare Mrutaha Anugrahat Bhagavataha Krishnasyaadbhutakarmanaha.
Sri Sutta Goswami said, due to the mercy of the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, who acts wonderfully, Maharaja Parikshit, those struck by the weapon of the son of Drona in his mother's womb, could not be burned.
Brahma Kapothitat Yashtu Takshakat Pranab Viplavat Nasamu Mohoru Bhayad Bhagavatyarpitashayah.
Furthermore, Maharaja Parikshit was always consciously surrendered to the personality of Godhead, and therefore he was neither afraid nor overwhelmed by fear due to a snake bird which was to bite him because of the fury of a Brahmana boy.
Utsrijya sarvataha sangam vigyata jita samsthitihi preyasake jaho shishyo gangayam swam kalevaram.
Furthermore, after leaving all his associates, the king surrendered himself as a disciple to the son of Vyasa, Sukadeva Goswami, and thus he was able to understand the actual position of the personality of Godhead, and at last gave up his material body on the bank of the Ganges.
Nuttama shloka vartanam jushatam tat kathamritam syat sambhamonyanantakalepi smaratam tat padambujam.
This was so because those who have dedicated their lives to the transcendental topics of the personality of Godhead, of whom the Vedic hymns sing, and who are constantly engaged in remembering the lotus feet of the Lord, do not run the risk of having misconceptions even at the last moment of their lives.
Tavat kalina prabhavet pravishto piha sarvataha yavad isho mahanurvyam abhimanyava ekarat.
As long as the great, powerful son of Abhimanyu remains the emperor of the world, there is no chance that the personality of Kali will flourish.
Yasmin nahaniyarhyeva bhagavan utsasarjagam tadaivehanuvritto sav adharma prabhavaha kalihi.
The very day and moment the personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, left this earth, the personality of Kali, who promotes all kinds of irreligious activities, came into this world.
Nanu dveshti kalim samrat saranga iva sarabhuk kushalanyashu siddhyanti netarani kritani yat.
Maharaja Pariksit was a realist because like the bees who only accept the essence of a flower. He knew perfectly well that in this age of Kali, auspicious things produce good effects immediately, whereas inauspicious acts must be actually performed to render effects. So he was
Kim nu balashu shurena kalina dhira bhiruna apramattaha pramatteshu yovriko nishu vartate.
Maharaja Parikshit considered that less intelligent men might find the personality of Kali to be very powerful, but that those who are self-controlled would have nothing to fear. The king was powerful like a tiger and took care for the foolish, careless person.
उपवर्णितमेतद्वः पुण्यं परीक्षितं मया वासुदेव कथोपेतम् आख्यानं यद् अपृच्छत.
O sages, as you did ask me, now I have described almost everything regarding the narrations about Lord Krishna in connection with the history of the pious Maharaja Pariksit.
यायः कथा भगवतः कथानि योरुकर्मणः गुणकर्माश्रयः पुंभिः संसेव्यस्ता बुभुक्षुभिः.
The good sages said, O great Goswami, may you live many years and have eternal fame, for you are speaking very nicely about the activities of Lord Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead. This is just like nectar for mortal beings like us.
Raya uchuhu Suta jiva samaha somya shashvatir vishadam yashaha yastvam shamsasi krishnasya kartyanam amritam hinaha.
The good sages said, O grave Sutta Goswami, may you live many years and have eternal fame, for you are speaking very nicely about the activities of Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead. This is just like nectar for mortal beings like us.
Karman yasminanashve vase dhumadhuvavan apayayati govinda padapadmasava madhu.
We have just begun the performance of this fruitive activity, a sacrificial fire, without certainty of its result due to the many imperfections in our action. Our bodies have become black from the smoke. We are factually pleased by the nectar of lotus feet of the personality of Godhead, Govinda, which you are distributing.
Tulayamalavenapi na swargam na punarbhavam bhagavat sangi sangasya martyanam kim uta shishaha.
The value of a moment's association with the devotee of the Lord cannot even be compared to the attainment of heavenly planets or liberation from matter. And what to speak of worldly benedictions in the form of material prosperity, which are for those who are meant for death.
Kunamatripyet rasavit kathayam mahattamake kantaparayanasya nantam gunanam agunasya jagmur yogeshvaraye bhava padmamukhyah.
The personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, Govinda, is the exclusive shelter for all great living beings, and his transcendental attributes cannot even be measured by such masters of mystic powers as Lord Shiv and Lord Brahma. And can anyone who is expert in relishing nectar, rasa, ever be fully satiated by hearing topics about him?
Tanno bhavan ve bhagavat pradhano mahattame kanta parayanasya harer udaram charitam vishuddham shushrushatam no vitanotu vidvan.
O Susa Goswami, you are a learned and pure devotee of the Lord, because the personality of Godhead is your chief object of service. Therefore, please describe to us the pastimes of the Lord, which are above all material conception, for we are anxious to receive such messages.
Save mahabhagavatah parikshit yena pavargakyam adabhra buddhihi ज्ञानेन वेयसा यासकी शब्दितेन Khagendra Padamulam.
O Sutta Goswami, please describe these topics of the Lord, by which Maharaja Pariksit, whose intelligence was fixed on liberation, attained the lotus feet of the Lord, who is the shelter of Garuda, the king of birds. Those topics were vibrated by the son of Vyasa, Srila Sukadeva.
Tannaha param punyam asambritartham akyanam atyadbhuta yoganishtam akyahayananda akyanam akhyayananta charitamapannam parikshitam bhagavata bhiramam.
Thus, please narrate to us the narrations of the Unlimited, for they are purifying and supreme. They were spoken to Maharaja Pariksit, and they are very dear to the pure devotees, being full of bhakti yoga.
Hare Krishna, please forgive me for my mistakes.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, dear devotees, Orpita and dear Purbasha, for the lovely recitations. Very well recited. Thank you so much. So I'm Sriji Kishori Devidasi, and tonight we have a very special speaker. Amogha Prabhuji will be facilitating our class tonight. Hare Krishna, Amogha Prabhuji, are you there?
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Pranam.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much for joining us today. And please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And Prabhuji, I understand that Vrindavan Chandra Prabhu will be joining us shortly, and he will be doing a short introduction to yourself so that everyone will know a bit about your background. So we're just waiting for Vrindavan Chandra Prabhu to join us. In the meantime, Prabhuji, would you like to recite the Mangala Charan prayer, please? Thank you.
Yeah, sure, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Before you start, I wanted to make an introduction. Sorry, I joined a few minutes late. This is Vrindavan Chandra Das here. Have you all introduced Amogha Prabhu, anyone?
Not yet, Prabhuji. We were waiting for you to join. Thank you so
Sorry,
much. Hare
I had some
Krishna.
service at the temple. So we are very honored and grateful to have His Grace Amogha Prabhu join us to speak and facilitate today's chat session. And hopefully, Prabhu, it's going to be the start of many more. Just to say a few words about Amogha Prabhu. He was initiated, or he's initiated by His Holiness Bhakti Vikash Swami, and he's done lots of service for ISKCON, and currently he facilitates classes with the Uxbridge Sangha group. He also speaks on Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, and he facilitates and is helping many devotees in their Krishna consciousness. And he's from, I believe, Prabhu, you are online today from Halifax, West Yorkshire.
Yes, Prabhuji, yes.
Hare Krishna. And he was initiated by His Holiness Bhakti Vikash Swami in Canterbury in July 2022. And he's been in Krishna consciousness, although he got initiated fairly recently. He's been practicing Krishna consciousness for a long time now, over 12 years. And when asked what inspired him to join Krishna consciousness, he said the philosophy, hearing the absolute truth as it is from Srila Prabhupada, and of course Krishna Prashadam. And so Prabhu, again, warm welcome to the session. We are honored to have you speak and facilitate, and hopefully we'll see and hear more from you in the future. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for a kind introduction about myself. Actually, I'm from Maidenhead Sangha. That is where I have started. And initially, my Siksha Gurus are Narottam Das Prabhuji and Nikunjara Mataji from Maidenhead. So they have raised me onto a transcendental platform. And then later on, I have moved to Halifax and have been here do the work. So now because I'm very remote, not near to the temple, so devotees, they have offered me service to facilitate Axbit Sangha services. So in such a way, just got a chance and to serve all the devotees.
Thank you. Wonderful. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so we shall start. So finally, kindly forgive me. So this is the first time for me in the chat. So Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanasalakaya Chakshurummilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kadamakyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroh Shriyatapadakammalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajeevam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Krupa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. नमो ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने. नमो ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिविकास स्वामिन् इति नामिने. नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणि प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादि पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा. हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. हरे कृष्ण. Okay, thank you. And before we start, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today we are going to, our verses are 18, Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 18, verse numbers 5, 6, and 7. So I shall share my screen. Okay, so in Srimad Bhagavatam, so this is about, in the, just to recap the previous verse about how the devotees have been living in this planet. So it is mentioned. So this was a devotee who has been dedicated their lives to the transcendental topics of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, of whom the Vedic hymns sing, and who are constantly engaged in remembering the lotus feet of the Lord. Do not run the risk of having misconceptions even at the last moment of their lives. So this is the quality of the devotees and the propensity. So it is Nauttama Shloka Vartanam Jusham Tat Katamrutam Syat Sambhrama Antakalepi Smartam Tat Padambujam. So whoever is remembering lotus feet of Krishna, always they in engaging themselves in the Tat Katamrutam by hearing the Krishna's pastimes. So they will never ever fall into illusion. That is the quality and propensity of the devotees. So in further, this is the here, it is all speaking about the Parikshit and quality of the Parikshit, what he is and how generous he is, how he is forecasting about the future generations. So here in this chapter, so how he is accepting entrance of Kali. So we see, we recite the verse first. Tavat Kalihi na prabhavet pravisto apiha sarvatah yavat yisho mahan urvam abhimanyavaha ekarat tavat Kalihi na prabhavet. So the Parikshit, he has been ruling the entire world. In his kingdom, there is no place for intoxication, gambling, illicit sex, and all these, the four these sinful activities. So because they don't have, there is no entrance for the Kali. So here, that is what it is explaining. Tavat Kalihi na prabhavet. There is no chance to enter. Pravisto api iha sarvataha. Pravistaha iha sarvataha. So wherever this Kali is going, yavat disho mahan urvyam. This Parikshit Maharaj, he is appearing everywhere wherever this Kali is going there. Because he is Abhimanyavaha Ekarat, he is the emperor. He has been trained in such a way that to look after his all the his subjects like his own children. Like he was following in his grandfathers. He looks after like a Pitruvad Ranjayan Prajaha. So all the devotees of Krishna, like Rajashis, they're always grandfathers, and all his like Yudhishthira and Arjuna, these are all grandfathers. They're always Krishna Padanu Seva, always worshipping lotus feet of Krishna. They do not have Nispruhaha Sarvakamibhyaha. They don't have any material desire. Similarly, Maharaja Parikshit, he was also walking in their footsteps. On top of that also, he was being protected by the Supreme Personality of Godhead when he was in the womb. So as soon as he came out, and he has been observing, that's why he was called Parikshit. And here, Tavat Kalihin Aparbhavet Pravisto api iha sarvataha yavat yesho mahan vrivyam abhivanyamaha ekarat. So let us see the translation. As long as the great powerful son of Abhimanyu remains the emperor of the world, there is no chance that the personality of Kali will flourish. So, purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. As we have already explained, the personality of Kali had entered the jurisdiction of this earth long ago, and he was looking for an opportunity to spread his influence all over the world. But he could not do so satisfactorily due to the presence of Maharaja Parikshit. That is the way of good government. The disturbing elements like the personality of Kali will always try to extend their nefarious activities, but it is the duty of the able state to check them by all means. Although Maharaja Parikshit allotted places for the personality of Kali, at the same time he gave no chance for the citizens to be swayed by the personality of Kali. So he is very, very intelligent. So he has given a chance for Kali to enter, but at the same time, he swayed the citizens so not to be affected by the symptoms of age of Kali. So here it is also mentioned in the Prabhupada is mentioning in the purport. So this is the way of good government. So here in the previous chapters, he says, when the personified dharma, the bull, it was speaking to mother cow. Whenever the kings, they are not following the regulative principles, then all this Kim Chatra Bandhun Kalina Upasprustan Rashtranivataihi Avaropitani Rashtranivataihi Avaropitani, all these state affairs will be disordered. So it was spoken by Dharma, personified Dharma. So, O Mother Earth, is that the reason you were lamenting for this? So he was asking number of questions to Mother Cow. At that time he mentions Rashtranivataihi Avaropitani, all the state affairs will be disarranged. So otherwise here Maharaja Parikshit, whenever the good Rajashi king is ruling the kingdom, so he manages very beautifully. So and also he knows how to check these disturbing elements like the personality of Kali. He will always try to extend their nefarious activities. It is the duty of the able state to check them by all means. So here king means it is mentioned whenever he is ruling the kingdom, Nonam Yo Arka Indu Agni Indra Vayunam Yamadharma Prachetasam Rupani Sthani Adaste Tasmai Suklayate Namaha. And he is Harehe Siktirihi Palini. The king is always he is the representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So as long as he is there, and he will be able to govern the citizens very beautifully. He knows everything, like he has been trained properly. So that is Prabhupada is explaining in this verse. So we shall move into the next verse. So here further Sudha Goswami is saying, Yasmin ahani yerhi eva bhagavan uttasajjagam tadaiva anurutto asau adharma prabhavah kalihi. Yasmin ahani yerhi eva bhagavan uttasajjagam tadaiva iha anurutto asau adharma prabhavah kalihi. So that day when the Supreme Personality of Godhead left the kingdom, okay, the very day and the moment the Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, left this earth, the Personality of Kali, who promotes all kinds of irreligious activities, came into this world. Yasmin ahani yerhi eva, on the same day, Bhagavan Uttasajjagam, when the Lord left this earth, Tadaiva iha anurutto, in order to expand his influences, asau adharma prabhavaha kalihi, to expand all his irreligious activities. On the same day, this Kali has entered into this material world. What is the influence of the Kali? Kalim sattva haram pumsam. Kalim sattva haram pumsam. It will take away all the good qualities of the human beings. So that's why we must be nearer to the devotees of Krishna. They are just like Karnadar Yavarnavam. They will simply make us to cross this signs of this material world. Karnadar Yavarnavam, just like a sailor. As soon as we just go onto the boat, they will take us very easily. Just in a blink of time, all these 100 years, whatever the human life is, it will just simply pass, as long as we are in the association of Krishna's devotees. So here, okay, let us see the purport. The personality of Godhead and his holy name, qualities, etc. are all identical. The personality of Kali was not able to enter the jurisdiction of the earth due to the presence of the personality of Godhead. And similarly, if there is an arrangement for the constant chanting of the holy names, qualities, etc. of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there is no chance at all for the personality of Kali to enter. That is the technique of driving away the personality of Kali from the world. In modernized human society, there are great advancement of material science, and they have invented the radio to distribute sound in the air. So instead of vibrating some nuisance sound for sense enjoyment, if the state arranges to distribute transcendental sound by resounding the holy name, fame, and activities of the Lord, as they are authorized in the Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam, then a favorable condition will be created. The principles of religion in the world will be re-established, and thus the executive heads who are so anxious to drive away corruption from the world will be successful. Nothing is bad if properly used for the service of the Lord. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So here, so in this verse, once again, Prabhupada is explaining chanting of holy names and the qualities of the Supreme Personality of the Godhead, Krishna. As long as there is a Krishna, and then there is no influence of Kali. As soon as Krishna left this planet, immediately all the Kali influences have been they spread in different directions. But in the Bhagavatam, in the 13th chapter also, while explaining about the Yaduvamshas, how they have been destroyed due to the curse of the Brahmana, at the time it mentions all the devotees or who are associating with Krishna, etad ishanimishasya pratistopi tadgunaihi naijyate sada atmastaihi yata buddhihi tadashraya. That is, whoever is associating with Krishna, keeping Krishna in their heart, they also inherit the same qualities. Yada buddhi tadashraya. They also got the same potency. Wherever the devotees of the Lord they exist, they would sway away all the bad qualities. So wherever the devotees are there, it is a tirtha. Bhavadvida bhagavataha tirtha bhotaha. So that is so it is also mentions tirthe kurvanti dhani swantastena gadavrita. So that place is a pilgrimage because swa antastena gadavrita, they keep Krishna in their heart, and wherever go, they make that place as a temple. So at that time there is no chance for any Kali symptoms to be manifested at that time. And this sense gratification, it is through different ways. All these senses, everyone they have got these senses according to their desires. According to desires. So as long as they have been hearing the transcendental sound vibrations, which is more subtle in this material world, only the sound vibrations, Bhagavan Shabda Gocharaha, one can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But through the eyes, do we have that kind of eyes to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead? So that is not possible. But still, for a conditioned soul, we have got temples to go and see the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But to see the Lord through the ears, transcendental sound vibrations. So this Yatra Chadhya Pumanaste Bhagavan Shabda Gocharaha. The Lord, He is in the Vaikuntha. Yatra Chadhya Puman, He is in the Bhagavan Shabda Gochara. He is to be known in this material world through the sound vibrations. Sattum Vishtabhya Virjam Swanamno Mrodayan Rushaha. So he always gives pleasures to his devotees, his associates all the time. Because of that, there is no chance for the Kali to expand his influence. So here Prabhupada is mentioning the medium, how these radios can be used and televisions can be used to spread Krishna consciousness. This is the beauty of it. So here Parikshit, so in this verse, as soon as the Lord, it is mentioning the entrance for the Kali. and when he was entering into the material world. So let us see how Kali is going to do it. Okay, we shall move to the verse number 7. Na anudveshti kalim samrat saranga iva sarabhuk kushalani asu siddhyanti na itarani krutani yat. Na anudveshti kalim samrat, and the Parikshit, he doesn't have any enviousness towards the Kali Purusha. Na anudveshti kalim, he is not envious of Kali, because Samrat Sarangaiva Sarabhruk. Samrat Sarangaiva Sarabhruk. He is the Sarabhruk. So it is Sarabhruk who knows the essence, who takes only the essence. Sarangaiva Sarabhruk, one who accepts the substance. Kushalani asu siddhyanti na itarani krutani yat. Kushalani asu siddhyanti. It is, if one even thinks about to do auspicious activities, kushalani asu siddhyanti, it becomes immediately successful. It gives results immediately. But naitarani krutaniyat, if we wanted to perform which is not auspicious, that is, which are inauspicious, until they are performed, they don't give results. So in this age of Kali, everyone are affected by mode of passion, mode of ignorance in most proportionates. So here, so many bad thoughts, as soon as we go into the material world, so many bad thoughts, and we have to see so many bad things as well, which we don't like. But still, even though they enter into the mind, we may feel something like that, but they do not get inauspicious until they are performed, until they turn into their activities. But when we are thinking that I wanted to do auspicious things, then immediately they will become successful. So Parikshit is observing all these things. That's why he is not na anudveshti kalim. He is not envious of the Kali. Na anudveshti kalim samrat sarangaiva sarabhuk kushalani asu siddhyanti naikarani krutani yat. So this is Saranganam Padambhujam. So here in the previous verses, whenever it was Krishna's opulences and glories, it was mentioned. Bahuva Lokapalanam Saranganam Padambhujam Panapatra Mukum Drusham. This is by looking at Krishna's face, he was so, we wanted to see Krishna again and again. That is Panapatra Mukam Drusham. Shriyo Yasya Uraha, Shriyo Yasya Uraha. Goddess of fortune, he is always on the heart of the Lord. And Bahu Lokapalanam. And all these people, they approach Krishna to protect themselves, to get the protection from the Lord. And Saranganam Padambhujam. Saranganam Padambhujam is the devotees who knows the essence of the life. So they will only take the shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna. So here, Parikshit, he is the Saranga Iva Sarabhuk. That's why he knows the essence of it. That's why he is not envious of Kali. Na anudveshti kalim samrat Saranga Iva Sarabhuk kushalani asu siddhyanti na itarani krutani. Let us go to translation. Maharaja Parikshit was a realist, like the bees who only accept the essence of a flower. He knew perfectly well that in this age of Kali, auspicious things produce good effects immediately, whereas inauspicious acts must be actually performed to render effects. So he was never envious of the personality of Kali. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The age of Kali is called the fallen age. In this fallen age, because the living beings are in an awkward position, the Supreme Lord has given some special facilities to them. So, by the will of the Lord, a living being does not become a victim of a sinful act until the act is actually performed. In other ages, simply by thinking of performing a sinful act, one used to become a victim of the act. On the contrary, A living being in this age is awarded with the results of pious acts simply by thinking of them. Maharaja Parikshit, being the most learned and experienced king by the grace of the Lord, was not unnecessarily envious of the personality of Kali, because he did not intend to give him any chance to perform any sinful act. He protected his subjects from falling prey to the sinful acts of the age of Kali, and at the same time, he gave full facility to the age of Kali by allotting him some particular places. At the end of the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that even though all nefarious activities of the personality of Kali are present, there is a great advantage in the age of Kali. One can attain salvation simply by chanting the holy name of the Lord. Thus, Maharaja Parikshit made an organized effort to propagate the chanting of the Lord's holy name, and thus he saved the citizens from the clutches of Kali. It is for this advantage only that great sages sometimes wish all good for the age of Kali. In the Vedas also, it is said that by discourse on Lord Krishna's activities, one can get rid of all the disadvantages of the age of Kali. In the beginning of the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is also said that by the recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam, the Supreme Lord becomes at once arrested within the one's heart. These are some of the great advantages of the age of Kali. And Maharaja Parikshit took all the advantages and did not think any ill of the age of Kali, true to his Vaishnavite cult. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So in this purport, so Prabhupada is mentioning about the age of Kali. It is the fallen age. It is Kali Dosha Nide Rajan. It is the wealth of all these faults. Kali Dosha Nidehe Rajan. Asti hi eko mahan gunaha, but there is one very great quality of it. Asti hi eko mahan gunaha. What is that quality? Ketnadeva Krishnasya Mukta Sangaha Padam Vrajet. Ketnadeva Krishnasya. Just by glorifying Krishna, one can Mukta Sangaham Param Vrajet. He can relive this material world and he can go back to Godhead. That is the very great quality. So Asti Heko Mahan Gunaha, that is the Mahan Guna. And here Srimad Bhagavatam, one who takes the shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. So what is Srimad Bhagavatam? Krishne Sudhamapukate Dharma Dhanadvisaha Kalunasa Dushamesha Puranarko Adunoditaha. So as soon as Krishna left this material planet from the out of sight of these naked eyes, and then at that time, Srimad Bhagavatam entered just like a sun is appearing in the darkness. That is Srimad Bhagavatam. That is Srimad Bhagavatam. So, and here Maharaja Parikshit, there are so many other points also mentioned here. So one can attain salvation simply by chanting the holy name of the Lord. So this is once again Lord Krishna says to Vyasadeva, it is also mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Aham eva kochit brahman sanyashashramam ashritaha. This is about the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Aham eva kochit brahman sanyashashramam ashritaha. Hari bhaktim grahayami kalonasta papan. So something like that it mentions. So Krishna only spoke these words to Vyasadeva. I am going to appear as a sannyasa. So that is about the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance. Kalo papa hata naran. Hari bhaktim grahayami kalo papa hata naran. So by taking the Hari bhakti, and all these sinful activities will be killed within the human society. That is Antah Krishnam Bahir Gauram Darshitangadi Vaibhavam. Antah Krishnam Bahir Gauram. Internally he is Krishna, outside he is the Gauranga with the gold, molten gold. Darshitangadi Vaibhavam. he's appearing with all his associates. So that is for the to spread the Krishna consciousness in this material world. So we have to take that opportunity wherever this Krishna consciousness, chanting of the holy names are there. There is no influence of Kali. So this is Kali. It affects only for the people who are not Krishna consciousness. Once again repeating, it is affecting Aprati Buddha Chetasam. Previously, when Suta Goswami is mentioning about the ages of influence of Kali, it affects only on the non-Krishna conscious people only, not the devotees. Devotees, Kali doesn't touch them. So likewise, Maharaja Parikshit, he made organized effort to propagate the chanting of the Lord's holy name. So that's why he was so happy when he was going for the Digvijay Yatra around the world to conquer the world, to punish any miscreants. So like Prabhupada is, now we are seeing practically how Prabhupada has implemented in this material world and in the age of Kali. Just with now, we are now living that age. So likewise, Maharaj Parikshit also, he did that one. He propagated the chanting of the Lord's holy name, and thus he saved the citizens from the clutches of Kali. So that's why we have to always be with the Krishna's devotees and Guru, spiritual masters. Spiritual masters, they teach all these things, what is necessary for our life. Anuratanam Shishanam Putranam Ched Vijottama Anaprushtamih Bruyuhu Guruvo Denavachalaha. They're always Denavachala. They are merciful towards all the fallen souls. And they will give all the knowledge, the transcendental knowledge. Anaprushtamaphi Bruyuhu, even though which cannot be told commonly, that kind of knowledge also will be given to his disciples and children. Anuratanam Shishanam Putranam Chidvijottama. For the children, whoever the followers and also disciples, they will give all this transcendental knowledge. So by taking all these things, one can completely free from this age of symptoms of the age of Kali. So it is just simply by hearing. Shrunvata Shraddhyanityam Gunatasya Swacheshtam Kalena Nati Dirghena Bhagavan Vishde Hrudi. Once we keep on hearing, the Lord enters into the heart. So here, so likewise after that, he will always be arrested in the heart. Shrunvata Shraddhyanityam Gunatasya Swacheshtam Kalena Na Atidirghena Bhagavan Vishde Hrudi. He enters into the heart and he doesn't go. Pravishtaha Karnarandrena Swanam Bhav Saruruham Dhunoti Shamalam Krishnaha Saralasya Yatasharat. Saralasya Yatasharat. Just as long as Krishna is there in the heart, he just wash off all the sinful things, and then he sit there and then he is arrested. So that is the beauty of chanting of the holy names. All the Krishna conscious devotees, they are so fortunate. So we are all fortunate here and sitting together and hearing Krishna Katha. So these are some of the great advantages of the age of Kali. So Maharaja Parikshit took all the advantages and did not think any ill of the age of Kali, true to his Vaishnavite cult. That is the Vaishnava's culture. So beautifully explained by Srila Prabhupada here. Okay, so now we are at 8:35. So now I stop here. I request dear devotees, any questions or any comments, or you would like to add anything or any corrections. So please kindly share. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
I'd just like to say you gave a wonderful class. Very nice. Thank you so much for explaining the verses so clearly. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, my humble obeisances unto you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you for the wonderful class. You're very knowledgeable. You just explained it so nicely with all the Sanskrit verses. Very nicely. So it says that Krishna, when Krishna goes away from the world, sorry, then Kali enters. So is the like Kali is the opposite of Krishna? I know the Kali is the Yuga, but when Kali is personified like that, so it's like it's Kali is the opposite of Krishna, and it's Krishna's will. So it's like because the lack of Krishna is Kali. Is that what it is?
It's not lack of Krishna. So because as soon as Krishna departed, it is the Yoga Dharma. So there are, for every Yoga, there is a Yoga Purusha. So Satya Yoga, so Satya Yoga, there is a Yoga Purusha. And Treta Yoga, there is a Yoga Purusha. And then Dwapara Yoga, there is a Yoga Purusha. And then Kali, Yoga Purusha. This is the people who dominate that age. So for this Kali age, so Kali Purusha is dominating. It is his duty. So knowing that time, so Krishna, so he has been here on the planet for 125 years. And then the time comes and Krishna, he went back to his abode. And later on, the Kali, he took his charges. It is the duty of the Dharma. So Dharma gradually, it decreases from the Satyuga to Kali Yuga, just starting from 100 and then gradually decreases. That is a Dharma. It is not that Krishna has departed and Kali has entered. But as long as Krishna is there, because he is the reservoir of all the good qualities, so there is no influence of the Kali, and he could not enter at all. So he was also waiting for that moment until Krishna leaves. So here in the mother cow, she explains to Dharma about the Krishna's, who is the reservoir of all the qualities in the 16th chapter. Satyam sautyam dhayakshantyam tyagaha santosha adjavam samodamah tapah samyam titiksha upratihi srutam jnanam virakti aishwaryam sauryam tejo bhalam smritihi swatantriyam kaushalam kshantihi dhairyam madhavam evacha pragdharyam prashraha seeram saha vojo bhalam bhagaha gambhiryam sairyam astikyam kirtirmano na anaham kritihi ete chanye cha bhagavan nitya yatra mahagunaha प्राज्ञा महत्त्वम् इच्छद्भिः वियन्ति स्म कर्हि चेत् तेनाहं घृणपात्रेण श्रीनिवासेन साम्प्रतं शोचामि रहितं लोकं पाप्मना करिणा ईक्षितम्. So these are the around 40 qualities have been given, mentioned by Mother Earth about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's why Kali, about as long as Krishna was here, there are no lamentations, no influence of the sinful activities, no influence of the Kali. So as long as Krishna, as soon as Krishna departed to his abode, then Kali started to perform his duty. It is a duty. It is
so Kali is also like just like Maya is Krishna's servant. Kali is also Krishna's servant doing his duty.
yes, that's right.
Okay, thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So sorry, Prabhuji, I just wanted to ask so from the very beginning of life, so everybody should be given Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, if there is no Krishna's name, then obviously Kali will influence, like we see in the education system and everything. We can't even blame anybody because they are not practicing Krishna consciousness. That's why they can't. They are doing, whatever they are thinking is right. The educators, the leaders, everybody actually, whoever is not taking Krishna's name, they are influenced by Kali. Then everything is going so wrong. They are thinking it's the right thing to do, and they are thinking they're progressing, and everybody is very, like, if you hear the news or something, everybody is like, okay, we are progressing so much in technology and it's so much progressive, and now we are weaning away from oil and gas. We are doing, we are going into new technology, electric cars and this and that. So it's all about advancement, economic development, everything. So everybody's thinking we are progressing and we are doing the right thing. But because they are not taking Krishna's name, so they don't know they're doing the complete opposite.
Yes, Mataji, yeah, that is right. So that's why all our Guru Maharajas and Srila Prabhupada was mentioning establish Varnashrama Dharma. As soon as we establish Varnashrama Dharma, then there is a platform for the ordinary people to come onto Krishna consciousness. Purusha Subhav Vihitan Yata Varnam Yata Ashramam Vairagya Rag Upadibhyam Amnatu Ubhayalakshanan. So these are the Purusha Subhav Vihitan, nature and the quality of a person. Yata Varnam Yata Ashramam. It is not by birth or community. It is a Swabhava. So in this world, people, they think so many things, dharma as adharma. Because otherwise, Jugupsham dharma krutenushaashataha subhavartasya mahan vitikramaha yad bhakyito dharma iti tarasito namanyite tasya nivaranam janaha. Narada Muni says to Vyasadeva about dharma. So Vyasadeva, you have written Mahabharatam and everything, but not Srimad Bhagavatam. So at that time he mentions people generally they tend to do nature by their nature. What is their nature? Just enjoy. That is, but you have given in the name of dharma, artha, kama, moksha, but they reject the restrictions. They take only artha and kama. So that's why whatever you have given all these scriptures, it may not be. It is tadbhashanti dhmushanti manasa. It is the place of, he mentions like Mahabharata, all those things. Any literature which doesn't glorify Krishna, which is tadbhashanti dhmushanti manasa. It is like place of pilgrimage for the crows. So that's why this Yathavarnam Yatashramam, this is needed. And from our Krishna consciousness movement and our acharyas, they are establishing Varnashrama Dharma and so many farm communities. And what we are aspiring to, we also need to create Kshatriyas and Kshatriyas, Brahmanas. Now we have got Krishna consciousness is the topmost and only the thing, nothing else is comparable to Krishna consciousness. And Prabhupada's mission at that time, it was emergency to create so many Brahmanas, sannyasis like that, Krishna conscious devotees. Now still there is further expansion for Varnashrama Dharma. We have to create Kshatriyas first to protect all the Brahmanas. Brahma Asuja Sumukato Yushmanatma Prichaya Chandomaya Tapo Vidya Yoga Yuktan Alampatan. That is, Brahma created Brahmanas to expand himself in the to expand himself for the knowledge of Brahma, tapasya, everything. So after that, Brahma has created Kshatriyas to protect the Brahmanas. To protect the Brahmanas. This word spoken by Swayambhu Manu to Kadama Prajapati. Brahma Asruja Sumukato Yushmanatma Prichaya Chendomaya Topavidya Yoga Yuktan Alampatan. Tatranaya Asuritasma Dho Sahasrat Sahasrapat Pradayam Tasya Brahma Kshatramangam Prachakshate. So that's why Brahmanas are the heart of the
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much, but your voice is break.
Apologies, Mataji.
No, Prabhuji, I can hear you clearly. I think it's her phone, because I didn't see your voice breaking.
We can hear you properly, clearly, Prabhuji. I think it's the Mataji's device.
Yeah, we can hear you, Prabhuji. Continue, please. Thank you.
Yes, so Swayambhu Manu says, Tatranaya Asujat Sumukan Tatranaya Asrujat in order to protect the Brahmanas, he created Dho Sahasratta Sahasrapat. From his shoulders, he has created the Kshatriyas. So that's why Hrudayam Tasya Brahma. That's why Brahmanas are the heart of the Lord, and Kshatramangam Prachakshate. So Kshatriya are the shoulders. It in such a way it is mentioned. Then, so now our immediate action is to produce the Kshatriyas. So based on the Varnashram Dharma, we have to produce Kshatriyas so that they protect the Brahmanas or devotees. Ato hyanyonyam atmanam brahma kshatram cha rakshataha rakshati sma avyodevha sayaha sad asad atmakaha. So when there is a cooperation between Brahmanas and Kshatriyas, then the Lord will protect all the citizens and everyone. So that is spoken by Swayambhu. So now next, our duty is to produce Krishna consciousness Kshatriyas and inject them into the politics. That is the immediate thing which at least I'm seeing that one. So that is my vision as well. So just train all these devotees politically, and then create the Kshatriyas. So that is what is in front of us as a duty. Otherwise, our acharyas, they would have done, but they have left few bits as an opportunity for the next generations to carry out those activities. So yes, Mother, you're right.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you so much. You have so much knowledge. My God, you can, recite the Sanskrit so easily from your memory. It's just wonderful. And you're so young as well, and you have so much knowledge. You're just very good. Thank you very much. Yes, absolutely. Because the Brahmanas are there, but yeah, you're right. The Kshatriyas have to be there. I think that mostly the world is about economic development and business and everything. It's just it's I think it's mostly Vaishyas and Shudras are encouraged nowadays, because either they're entrepreneurs and industrialists, and then and there are workers who work for them, isn't it? It's all multinational companies. They are making profit, everything, and the politicians support the big companies because they get money from there, and then the workers are working. So, and that's why there are the lack of Brahmanas and lack of Kshatriyas in the governance of all the countries, and the lack of them. The administrators are not Kshatriyas and Brahmanas. That's why there is so much of problems, I think. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Amogha Prabhu. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Been listening to your wonderful lecture. Is so pleasing to the heart, and especially on this special day, on the Bhadra Purnima day. It's just wonderful. And you're, as the other, the devotee mentioned, that you are so young, but you are sort of begin. I'm sure it must have started from the beginning of your life, and that you're learning Sanskrit, and you are displaying yourself with such a knowledge in such a young age. And I pray that you continue this rest of your life. And I also, just to mention that I was speaking to one of the devotee. You mentioned earlier that the devotee also need to go to the politics to become Kshatriyas. One of the devotee, I think he was graduated from Cambridge, and he was going to go in the politics to bring Krishna consciousness. But then I mentioned what's happening there. He said, in these days, it's very, very difficult. He said, because when you can't play two things in the same time. You can't be a diplomat, because in politics you have to go there, you have to speak in their way, you have to go other side, you have to speak there. So that's why he said, I didn't feel that I had that quality to pursue on that path. So it is not very easy in this Kali Yuga to to practice what you are just trying to mention. It is very difficult in this Kali Yuga.
Yes, Mataji, that is true. So, but actually, the Krishna conscious devotees, they don't directly enter into the politics, because Krishna conscious devotees, they're transcendental. They only enable the people from the society, ordinary society. They train the Kshatriyas and then make them to enter. And Krishna conscious devotees, they would be supporting from the behind. They don't directly participate in the politics. But we choose these Kshatriyas from the ordinary society and train them accordingly.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I wish you all the best. Are you born here?
No, Mataji, I'm from India.
Okay. So at the moment you are speaking from India?
No, Mataji, I'm from here in Halifax, in West Yorkshire.
Okay. Thank you very much. Very nice to have your darshan and your knowledge. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for your nice class. Very knowledgeable, as everyone is saying, and you are young also. But I know, under the guidance of Bhaktivika Swami, there is no back out. I know you will go forward, and we pray that he remains in this material world just to guide all of us. He's a fighter, he's a warrior, and he's walking in the path of Srila Prabhupada. It's very, you get very less devotees doing that. Srila Prabhupada was straightforward, and Bhaktivika Swami, I know him, he is doing this, whatever Srila Prabhupada has asked his devotees to do, and he is doing that. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, good luck in everything you are doing. Very bold.
Thank you, Mataji.
I think somebody's raised their hand and maybe person wants to ask a question.
Yeah, it's me. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Thank you for your class. I just have one question, Prabhu, just some clarification. You said earlier that where there's Krishna, there's no lamentation. Can you please explain that?
So, in Krishna, so here, wherever Krishna was there, everyone, Pana Patra Mukundrusham, as soon as they see Krishna, even the whatever the pains they have got, it will be completely ignored. They do not act on those persons. Piyush Nityapita Deha Dharmaha, because Piyush Nityapita Deha Dharma, as long as they are drinking the nectar of Krishna Katha, there is no difference between Krishna's name, form, and his presence. His full body is present, and even the qualities. So as long as we are hearing, then Piyushi Niryapita Deha Dharmaha, Niryapita Deha Dharmaha. The body dharma does not act as long as we are hearing Piyusha, that is the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu. Right. I was just wondering, could there be anything like spiritual lamentation?
Spiritual lamentation, it will be there. So there, Nirindan Udghalat Bhashpam, the Outkancha Devaki Sute, when the Krishna was moving from leaving Hastinapura and entering into Dwaraka at that time, people are just there crying. Nirindan Udghalat Bhashpam, just keeping their tears in their eyes. Udghalat Bhashpam, they're flowing from their tears. So they're crying because of the separation. So Niryati Agarat Na Abhadram iti syad bandhavastriyaha. So because when Krishna was traveling, and once again they stopped Niryati Agarat Na Abhadram. So when anyone is traveling, so we should not cry. It is inauspicious. So they're getting separation from Krishna, so they're crying due to the separation, but at the same time they stopped it. So that is once again, that is the transcendental in separation. That is also good for them because they are crying for Krishna.
All right. Is that what Mata Kunti wanted? Did she ask Krishna to grant her the spiritual lamentation?
So Kunti Mata was asking, as long as Vipada Santuhataha Shashwat Tatra Tatra Jagat Guru. So give me all these calamities again and again. And as soon as we have got those calamities, you will be here. And as soon as we see, and then apunar bhavadarshanam, and we don't get again birth again here in this material world. Likewise, she was asking, she was glorifying Krishna for remembering Krishna's pastimes. First, he establishes Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and established the relation between Krishna and herself, and then remembering some pastimes, and then asking for more and more again, and again glorifying Krishna's beautiful things, how he will be revealed to his devotees. And likewise, number of levels of those Kunti Mata prayers, they are there. At the end, Sri Krishna Krishna likewise, she completes, wind up her prayers.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you for linking it all together. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Wonderful. Where, you have, it looks like that the whole Bhagavatam is by heart to you. You have so much knowledge, Prabhu.
It's all the devotees association, Mataji. As long as devotees are there, so it is Katha will go on, things will go on. It is have been getting the devotees association from Uxbridge Sangha. So every day morning we recite one shloka and hear one shloka. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya.
Uh-huh.
So that way.
Where is it? Do it here or from
in
India?
From online, Zoom online, here itself, in UK itself.
Okay.
And morning 5:30 japa session. As soon as 1 hour, 5:30 to 6:30 japa is finished. At 6:30, we recite one shloka in a day, every day.
Okay.
That is for 10 minutes only. And then Prabhupada's Sikshamrita, one letter, Srila Prabhupada's letter. That's it. But on Saturdays, we have special sessions in the morning after the regular session. We speak on Srimad Bhagavatam on special topics. If we do one shloka a day, it will take long time. So we take some selected topics of Srimad Bhagavatam and we discuss. Our devotees are so glorious. Many of Uxbridge Sangha devotees, they are very seniors, always engaging in the temple. But I got only opportunity to host that Sangha activities only. So I'm very far away in the Halifax. It is 200 miles from London.
Okay.
So we are all associating and very close by.
Wow. So the morning sloka, then you by heart during the day, right?
Yes, Mother. So we just meditate on the shloka, one shloka. So we meditate that way. We remember those words automatically. And
wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, wonderful memory as well, Prabhu.
It's Krishna's Bhagavatam and Prabhupada's translations. So they're self-potent. We are just instruments, just repeating those things.
Thanks, Prabhu. You have to pray for us, so then we also develop that taste for learning Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So we are nearly 9 o'clock. If you're all happy, we shall conclude our session, or anyone.
Sorry, Prabhuji, did you say it's Uxbridge Sangha?
Yes, Mataji, Uxbridge Gaura Sangha.
Oh, okay. Lovely. I live in Uxbridge. I don't know about the Sangha. Anyways, I'll find out. Thank you very much. Yeah, and your Sanskrit pronunciation as well is so good. Are you from South India?
Yes, Mataji, yes.
That's why your pronunciation is also good. Your memory is absolutely excellent. And your class was absolutely excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. It's all Guru's message, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for very nice
Maybe
class.
we could just now recite the ending prayer.
Yeah, and the Vaishnava prayer.
Yes, please.
Yes, Kripa Sindhubhyo, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you,
Prabhu, for
Prabhuji,
the
for a nice
wonderful
day.
class.
Hare
Thank you so
Prabhu.
much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Amogha
Krishna.
Das Prabhuji ki
Ki
jai.
jai.
Hari bol. Thank you
Hare
so much,
Bol.
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Hare Bol.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.